Hello, everybody. I'll wait to see. Let's see. So excited to be on here. Chat. My name is Meagan Lindquist, and I go by Mimi from my family and social media. And I'm excited to talk to you guys all about, I'm excited to talk about what has, I guess, made me successful on social media. And for everyone joining on Facebook, hello. I'm super excited to talk to you guys today. If you're joining on Facebook and you try to find me on Facebook, you may not see too much action on my page. I hang out on Instagram, and that's going to be what I'm talking about today. I'm going to be referring to Instagram, but everything that I talk about, you really can use on Facebook as well. It's just that I choose Instagram as my main platform. But if Facebook is your thing, you do you. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into it because I have a lot to go over today. So I was kind of surprised and kind of honored that Ed asked me to do this because looking back, how am I successful on social media? It hasn't been some mastermind strategy or anything. It's been me showing up as me. So I really had to go back and really think, okay, what actually has made me successful that maybe not everyone out there is doing? So I really tried to hone in on that for you guys. A little bit about me and my background, which will help kind of flow into what I do today and how I do it. I am an AHCC educator, I'm a culinary nutrition expert, and I host the Medicine Podcast. In a different life, which that's what it seems like now, but I also have my degree in dental health science. So I was a clinical dental hygienist for 8 years. And really that's where my story started, with being able to share with a lot of people. So being a dental hygienist, maybe some of you can understand what I'm saying here, but you have to develop trust with people. They're basically with you for an hour, their head is in your lap, and you are holding sharp instruments in their mouth. They must trust you if you want the appointment to go well. So it really helped me develop kind of being able to connect to a lot of different types of energies and personalities, and develop trust and rapport with people. So I say that dental hygiene was really my prerequisite to what I do now today, which is, teach people about mushrooms. So I also discovered that I truly love helping people to feel safe. And my favorite dental patient was the one who maybe didn't love the dentist. And then, my goal was for them to sit up and be like, huh, that wasn't that bad. I also developed an ability to present items for people in a non-overbearing way, in a way that was educational, rather than here, take this, buy this, do this. So I was doing this every day, 10 times a day, with all different types of energies and personalities, and it really served me now for what I do. Just for your reference, so you can understand what that looks like, specifically for something like Invisalign, right, which is $5,000 and above. I was presenting and educating and showing the value of, aligning the teeth. And then the people, the patients, guide themselves to that answer of, I think Invisalign would benefit me. And then they open up and ask questions about it. Not every single time, but that technique of kind of steering people towards value and serving them and educating them first before you even present anything for them to ever buy. You're presenting value. So with that, our office became the top Invisalign office in the Western region. And then I became the top selling Invisalign dental hygienist in Washington State. I say that only to give kind of, I guess, credibility to what came naturally to me, and that was sharing and providing value first before selling. So that's really what everything is going to come down to. I'm going to come full circle. Always, always, always education and service first on social media, because we all know that, we've all come into contact with the seller, the person who, slides into our DMs and offers something that we really don't care about or don't want. When you can offer and provide value first and allow the person to have the idea in their mind and steer themselves towards, hey, can you tell me more about this? So in 2019, I stepped away from dental hygiene, but it's more like mushrooms pulled me away. I had a patient at our office that had AHCC recommended to her by her naturopath, which helped her clear her HPV. So that was really where I was like, holy cow, I need to know about this. The world needs to know about this. That's a very short, condensed version. And then I created an AHCC food. If you don't know, AHCC is a cultured mycelial product. And I created this food, and that was kind of my gateway into the entrepreneurial world. So I have no business marketing background at all. My background is dental hygiene and healthcare and service. So now I am an ambassador for 4 different mushroom companies, and I have my own private label of AHCC called Immune Intel AHCC. And before I jump into specific Instagram and social media tips, I also want to share a few statistics with you, stats, my personal stats, for the sole purpose of just showing that you can do a lot with a very small following. There is this misconception that to be successful or to really impact people or impact the world, you have to have a large following and a large, super large reach, which is totally false. Most of what I've been able to generate and impact has been with very few followers on Instagram. It's been around 2,000 to 2,500. I just passed 3,000 a couple months ago, and then just passed 4,000 this last month. So most of it has been with a very, very small following. But with that, one of the companies that I'm an ambassador for, in less than a year, I've been able to generate 78,000 in sales with that very small following. My brand of Immune Intel AHCC will likely reach close to $200,000 in sales and revenue, and that's with 0 paid ads. It's all free marketing, word of mouth, and me on Instagram. And then I don't really like sharing the ranks because they don't mean much to me, honestly. But I started selling or talking about organo about 6 months ago, and then this month just reached the sapphire rank, which is really great because it shows me that people they trust me, and they love the products, and the products are amazing, and I love that. It's more people impacted. Okay, so all of that being said, you can do a lot on Instagram or social media with a very small following. And that's the only reason why I share those. I don't do that to brag at all. It's just to show, it's to be an example. So the 3 kind of broad things that I did on Instagram, looking back, what has made me successful is I established myself as authentic. I established myself as a servant, and I established myself as an expert. And I'm going to go over each one of these. The expert one may not be what you're thinking, but first, establishing myself as authentic. What this means is, before I even ever offered to, to sell anything on Instagram, I was using whatever that product was for a couple months maybe, and showing that I was using it, that I held value in it, and that it was something that I was showing up and doing every single day. So people see that it's not just something that I'm getting paid to dish out or post, right? And I'm showing that I truly love this thing. I show my face. I talk to people. I I interact. I don't just film or post beautiful graphics. People want to know that they're speaking to a real human on the other end of the phone, right? The person or the followers, the likes, whatever, those are all people. They all have a heartbeat. And if you can show up and speak to people like they are, like this, with your voice and with your face, that also allows for a lot of trust. And then the other thing with going along with authenticity is consistency. So using it just about every single day. So, and then establishing myself as a servant. Every single person that comes into my DMs, I'm answering their question. I don't have an assistant. I don't have anyone. It's me. And it's not just a double tap. It's not just an emoji. They get a real answer, either a thought out answer, typing, or a voice or a video. So they know that they're talking to me. I can't tell you how many people I've heard say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you actually responded. And I'm like, what? Are there people actually not responding to questions at all? I would highly recommend treating every person that comes into your DMs like they are your only person, right? Like if you treat their question with love and give them a full answer and go above and beyond. So if they ask for something or a reference or whatever, don't say, okay, go listen to this or go watch this or go check out this. Go retrieve the link for them and put it in the DMs. You're removing barriers for them to say no or forget or move on to something else. You provide all of that as a servant to them. And then you treat that person, I say treat because they're like my patients in my mind, you help that person, and then you can screenshot that great answer that you gave. You can make their name or picture anonymous and share it with your community now. So now you can post that to your story and educate everyone that comes in, to your Instagram or Facebook, and now they're seeing that great answer that you just gave. So it's repurposing content and questions. And then the last is establishing myself as an expert. And there's no way to become an expert without first being a student, right? So that's really what I mean by expert. You establish yourself as a student first and always. So you never stop learning. Whatever the thing is that you're offering or serving people with, stay a student, forever a student. So what that means practically is creating an evergreen asset is what I call it. So for me, that looks like a podcast episode. So I have a podcast episode with Emily Morrow. I'm sure some of you know her in this organo space. I have a podcast episode interviewing her, and we're talking about the benefits of reishi and the king coffee. So anytime anyone comes into my Instagram or my email inbox and has questions about king, I drop that podcast episode in there, and I also, answer their question, but I say, oh my gosh, you got to check out this podcast episode. And you're, again, removing obstacles or hindrances for them to say no or to move on to something else. And you're also being a servant, and you're also establishing yourself as that expert, right? So you're saying, I have this thing, this asset that I want you to take a look at or listen to. For you, anyone out there, it may not be a podcast episode. You can use this podcast episode if you want, but I really recommend creating your own for two reasons. One, it's yours. That establishes credibility with the person on the other end who's asking the question. They see, okay, she took the time or he took the time to create this thing. This must be worth something, right? It shows value. And then you're also learning as you create that asset. You yourself are the learner and the teacher. So then you have this beautiful asset coming out of it, but you've learned the whole way. So for some other people, it might be a blog post. It might be a highlight reel on your Instagram or Facebook that you can just drop a link in. If you have a really great email list, it might be a series of like email campaigns Whatever your thing is, whatever you're going to be best at, choose that thing and create an evergreen asset that will always help people. And then, so I wanted to get into specific tips. If you're just coming into the world of Instagram or social media and you want to start sharing and you don't even know where to start, I'm going to share some very specific things that I do. So those were kind of general, authentic, servant, and expert. These are more specific. So you want to start your highlight reels early and add to them often. If you don't know what a highlight reel is on Instagram, just Google it and it'll show you exactly how to, or look it up on YouTube. It'll show you exactly how to create that. And you want to be adding to that as you create more content and as you receive more testimonials, as you answer more questions as that servant, add those to your highlight reel and then refer back to them to people. Be consistent and show up regularly. People want to know that you use this thing in your life and that you hold value. Sometimes it's as simple as people don't need to know that, or people don't need to believe you. They need to believe that you believe you. So if you show up and you're excited and you smile and you're showing people your face, you're excited about whatever the thing is that you're sharing, people are going to be more drawn to that energetically. So save particularly good stories or posts and then post them, repost them, repurpose them. Don't assume that everyone who's following you has seen all of your things and remembers all of your things. How many times do we have to see something multiple times to want to buy it or want to engage? A lot of times we need to see things multiple times. Use hashtags in posts and stories because people use Instagram, the search bar, as a search engine. So what I mean by that is if I create a post talking about King Coffee and its benefits, I'm also going to hashtag hormone balance, hashtag reishi, hashtag acne, hashtag whatever the thing is, whatever these benefits are that could lead someone to the reishi King coffee. I'm going to use those as a tool inside the post. This is a big one. When you're adding content to your story, you don't want to just hold your phone up and just speak with nothing else. You want to add text, you want to add engagement, you want to add gifts. People, it's a weird thing about us, but we want to be entertained while we are being educated. Someone that I follow closely calls it edutainment. You're learning, but you're also being entertained. No one, no matter how beautiful you are, no one wants to watch just someone speak for 10 taps. It's really, really rare. So put extra things in there to engage people. Avoid selling on your story. You can speak about the product, speak about the benefits, show the testimonials, and give a really, really simple call to action for people. So when I'm talking about the benefits of King Coffee, I say, hey, respond with I'll put the mushroom emoji. Respond with a mushroom if you're interested or if you want to learn more. And people do that. If you leave it to them to come up with a question or be brave enough to well, I don't know what question to ask. I don't know if this is legit. Give them something really easy to do to start that conversation, but avoid selling, saying hey, if you buy now, this with your voice, do that kind of in the DMs. And this is the last one, but it's maybe the most important one. Confidence is everything. It shows credibility. It shows passion. It shows that you believe what you're saying. And that's the thing, is people need to believe that you believe, right? And this all comes back to not focusing on numbers, followers, rank, all of that. You focus on impact, serving, education, and treating each person, each question that comes in as a heartbeat, as a person, and not treating them like a sale. People pick up on that and they respond really, really well to that. Impact, purpose, helping others, serving will always win always. And with that, I just wanted to open it up in case anyone has questions that they want to throw out. I'll stick around for a few minutes. I think that was pretty close to the time that we had allotted. But if you have any questions about anything that I said, you can drop it in the chat box, or you can always hit me up on Instagram. It's at getmimifit, and my website is is getmimifit.com, and you can hit me up there if you have any questions or you think of something later. I'm always here. Otherwise, I'm not seeing any questions come in, so that's great. It was a pleasure talking with all of you guys today. I'm honored to be a part of a great company like Organo, and to really just be able to offer this great product to people. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this, and I'm excited to continue on teaching people about mushrooms.
Hi, Megan. Sorry, there's a question from Devin Edwards on Facebook.
Okay.
He asked, what are great apps to use for content creation, such as making posts and videos?
I hardly use any apps. The only app that I use to create visuals is called InstaSize, and that helps to resize photos and to add graphics if you like. I also just use my computer. I have a Mac, so I use Pages, and I add just text over a picture, and I screenshot that and then upload it to my phone. So I honestly don't use hardly at all any apps. I think Your Brain is the best app.
Perfect. Thank you. And that's it. I don't see any more questions on Facebook.
Okay, great. Well, I hit it right at 20 minutes.
Perfect. Great job. Very, very informative. Thank you, Megan, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, everybody.
See ya.